In this video, we are starting a new section, section 11. All right, so what this section covers is the combination of enumerations, right? So here's an enumeration of what a traffic light is. A traffic light is one of these three strings, right? Like so. We have to branch between those and distinguish what they are. So we're going to cover enumerations combined with structures, right? AKA compound data, to create an enumeration of structures, also known as a union of structures. Anywho, we're doing problem 11.0 shape-area in this video. All right, so let's review what we're going to do. So I have the problem opened up in Racket. So notice the data definition for square, rect, and triangle are done. We're going to review them shortly. Finish the uncompleted steps X of data design above for shape. So just the examples and the template are not done for the shape data definition. Anywho, let's just review all these structures here. So define struct square has a field called side, and that is of a number, right? And the interpretation is that it represents side length of all the sides of the square. This is the signature of the accessor fields, right? So square dash side gets us the side out, consuming a square, like so. All right, this is the template. And let's move on to the next one. So define struct rectangle has a width and a height, right? And those are numbers. The interpretation is width is the horizontal edge of the rectangle, and height are the vertical edges of a rectangle. Here's how you get them out, right? Rect dash width consumes a rect and gets that out, right? Same with the height, and here's a template for that. Lastly, triangle. So a triangle has a base and a height. Those are numbers, and the base is the horizontal base of the triangle, right? And height is the maximum vertical distance of a triangle, all right? And this is how you get those out. These are the accessor fields for getting the triangle base and height out, consuming a triangle and getting those out. And here is a template for that. All right, finally, we reach our union definition, right? The shape definition as described by this problem, right? Finish the uncompleted steps X of data design above for shape. So just the examples and the template for shape. Okay, so pause the video and try to just write some data examples for shape. Pretty straightforward. It's a set of these. All right, I'm going over spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I'm assuming that you guys took a good swing at it. So now let's go over it together. So shape is one of these things, right? It's a rectangle, triangle, or square. So let's just illuminate what these are concretely. So we have a rectangle. Let's do make rect. Let's say 3020. Right, let's do the triangle case next, right? So triangle is going to be defined. We'll call it try1, make triangle 1040. And lastly, we have this last case, all right? Make square. Define, we'll call it sq1. And then make square, say the side length is 10. Okie dokie, and those are the examples done. Easy peasy. Okay. So next is a function template that processes a shape data definition, all right? So pause the video and try to write the template for that. Let me just write the signature for you guys. So shape-temp is going to be a template that consumes a shape, and we don't know what to produce yet. So pause the video and try to do the template that consumes a shape, all right? I'm going to go with spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I'm assuming that you guys took a good swing at it. So now let's go over it together. All right, so since this is just a template, we're just laying out all the pieces here. So shape-temp, let's call the input parameter sh, right? We're just taking 2 letters out of shape here. Okay, and likewise, since this is a one of, right? This is a one of 3 things. We need a cond to distinguish between those 3 things, right? Cond 1, 2, and 3. All right. So how do we tell if the incoming shape is a rectangle, triangle, or a square? Well, if you remember from all the way long ago, right, by virtue of this define struct, it generates these dash base and dash field name functions to get those out of the structure, right? It also introduces implicitly triangle question mark that consumes anything and produces a boolean. So triangle question mark will take in anything, It could be a number, a string, boolean, whatever. And what it's going to produce is a boolean saying that is the thing I'm given a triangle or not, all right? Likewise, same with the find struct rectangle, like so, right? There's going to be a rectangle question mark function and etc. All right. And that's what we're going to use to distinguish between whether the given shape is one of these things, right? So for the questions for these cond, right, is the given shape recta a rectangle? If it is, what do we want to do, right? In this case branch, well, for the answer for this is that we want to take it apart, right? So we want to do likewise rect dash width of the given rectangle and rect dash height of the given rectangle. Since we know that it is a rectangle now, we know that the given shape, right, is going to be a rectangle when we hit this cond branch. So you want to take the fields out, all right? Okay, so let's do the triangle next, right? So is the given shape a triangle, right? If so, then we want to take apart the fields. If you wrote a template for this, right, that just takes apart the fields, you can just copy that down and rename the input variables here, like so. Okie dokie. And lastly, we have this square case, right? A shape can also be a square, so we could do square of the given shape. If it is, then we probably want to get the side length out, right? Square dash side of the given shape. Okie dokie, and that is how you template it out. Okay, gonna mark myself done for that. All right, hopefully there wasn't too much thinking involved, right? You distinguished between these three cases, and since they're structures, right? You just take apart the structures so that you can, use this as a foundation for the function that we're going to code below. And since we laid it all out, all we have to do is rearrange the pieces, and it's just all laid out nicely. All right. So anywho, since this is a type comment, right, it's very easy to glance over, right? Because comments are comments. They don't really affect the code in any way. But I want to show you guys that this is a real construct, right, in other languages as well. So here it is in Rust. It's the same concept. I'm going to put these two side by side, all right? So here is the type definition. It's not a comment this time, right? So this is the one in Racket, and this is the one in Rust, right? It's not a type comment. It's part of the language. You have to write it correctly. Otherwise, it's going to error out, and Rust is going to reject your code, right? So we have the same case here, right? Union shape is one of these: rectangle, triangle, square. And we have the same thing here, right? It's an enumeration of structures where we have triangles, squares, and rectangles with a width, base, height of numbers, and etc. All the fields are here, all right? So for the template here, right? So this is the function template, and here is the function stub. Still similar nonetheless, right? This match is similar to our cond right here, right? And it's going to take an input shape, and it's going to distinguish between those shapes, right? What do we do if it's a triangle? Well, we probably want to take the pieces apart, right? So similar to this case, what do we want to do if it's a triangle? Well, we want to take it apart like so. Same for rectangle, square, and etc. All right? So it looks very similar to other languages, right? These are real things, real constructs in programming, all right? Again, just because it's a comment, easy to glance over, and I just wanted to show you guys that. Okie dokie. Now let's move on to problem B. Gonna scroll down here. Okie dokie. All right. So for problem B, it says design a function shape-area that consumes a shape and produces the area of the given shape, right? And here are the formulas for how you calculate the area for all the given shapes, right? Triangle is base times height, rectangle is width times height, and square is side times side. And they gave us a signature to start with, all right? So pause the video and try to do the how to design function step, right? For shape-area. I'm gonna go for spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I'm assuming that you guys took a good swing at it. So now let's go over it together. All right, so they gave us the signature, right? So next is the purpose. So the purpose of this function is to produce the area of the given shape. All right, next is the stub, right? Signature, purpose. So let's stub this out. So we're going to define shape dash area. So we'll call the input parameter sh, and it has to reduce a number, right? So we'll just do 0 as the w value. Next are some tests. So check expect shape dash area of rect1, right? So what is this going to be? Well, we defined it in our examples here, right? Rec is going to be make a rectangle with 30 width and 20 height, right? So I'm just going to copy this down because you guys should use the variable here, but since I'm going to scroll up and down, I know it's going to be kind of confusing and a headache for you guys. So you guys can just copy and paste it here so you can see it directly, all right? So what is the area of this rectangle, right? Well, we defined area to be width times height. So all we got to do is multiply the width times height of this rectangle, which is 30 and 20, like so. Okie dokie. Let's move the other ones. All right, so check expect. All right, shape dash area of the triangle this time. So I'm going to grab my example here. All right. So what is the area of a given shape when it's a triangle, right? Well, looking at the problem here, right? How do you calculate area for a triangle? Well, you just multiply the base times height. So we see the base times height right there is 10 and 40. Multiply those two together. And lastly, we have our last case, which is the square. So what is the shape area when we have a square? I remember that this side length is 10, right? So square, the area of a square is defined as side times side. So we just got to multiply 10 by 10. Okie dokie. So that is all those steps done. I'm going to run my stub against the examples. We get a bunch of mismatches, but it's fine. All right. Now let's move on to the next step. So I'm going to comment out the stub, grab a template here. Right. Is there a template for a shape that we can use as a baseline? Yes, there is. All right. Rename this like so. Okay, gonna check myself off here so you guys can see where I'm at. So like so. So signature for stuff is done. Examples are done. Template from body, we just did that. And now comes the hardest part, right? Coding up the body. Anywho, pause the video and try to work through this on your own. Hopefully this should be all the mental scaffolding needed to solve the problem. I'm going over spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I'm assuming that you guys took a good swing at it. So now let's go over it together. So in the case of rectangle, looking at examples over here, we just have to multiply the base, the width times the height, right? So we have the width times the height already in the template. All we got to do is multiply them. So that is the rectangle case done. Let's move on to the next one, triangle case. How do we produce the area of a triangle, right? Well, it's just base times height. And looking at examples, it's just multiplying the base and the height, all right? Like so. All right. Lastly, we have this square case, right? Square is going to be multiplying the side times the side. So we have the square side here. We have to multiply this twice. So let's just copy and paste this, right? This is a part that we can use, like so. And we just multiply them. And that should pass all our tests if we run this. And so they do. Okay. So that's the code body done. Test review and refactor. Ran in against the test. All the tests pass. All right. Hit Control I. Try to re-indent and make everything look nice and easy. All right. So pretty much done. Let's submit this to Handin and put it in the shape dash area slot like so. So it's 11.0, right? This new section. And hand it in and make sure that you guys are passing the grader test as well to make sure that you guys aren't missing any other tests, right? Because the grader probably has a lot more tests sometimes that you might miss. All right. So since this is the first time I'm introducing this concept, right? Let's step through the code execution to make sure that we really understand this, right? I'm going to close this now because it's no longer needed. All right. So shape dash area of this make rectangle, right? We expect it to be 600, right? That's the area of this rectangle. And likewise, here is our call to shape area, right? And here's the function definition for it, right? We see this red arrow stepping into where we're at currently. So we replace every instance of sh with this make rectangle. And here's that expansion, right? So every instance of sh, everywhere here gets replaced with make rect, right? So we see it all here, like so. All right, next step. So is rect ha of this make rect a rectangle? Evaluates to true, so we're going to take that branch. All right, evaluates to true, we're going to take that branch. Okay, and basically we get the width out of this make rect, which is going to be 30. We get the height out of this make rect, which is going to be 20 here. So we get that. Multiply them together, does 600, check expect 600 equals 600. Yes, it does, and that test passes. All right. So here's the next one for triangle, right? Times 1040 is 400. Okie dokie. Same expansion, shape dash area, right? So we're going to replace every instance of this function sh with the make dash triangle, as we see here. All right. Okay, let's go through the evaluation. So is rect hall of this make dash triangle a rect? No, it evaluates to false. So we skip that con branch. All right. So next step, is this triangle right? Is this thing we're given a triangle? Evaluates true. So we're going to take that branch. So let's keep going. So true, we take that branch and then we're going to get the base out, right? So triangle dash base of this triangle structure, we get that 10 out. So we see that there. We're going to see the triangle dash height of this make triangle to get that 40 out, like so. Does 400 equal 400? Yes, it does. That check expect passes, and we are good. All right, finally for the square case, it's going to be make square 10, 10. Make square 10 is the side length, but we know that the area is going to be 10 times 10 because that's the formula for the area of a square. All right, so here's the evaluation for shape dash area, right? Replace every instance of sh with the make square here, so like so. And we're going to run through the con cases, right? Is this a square, right? No. Is this a rectangle? Rectangle of make square? No, it's not, so it's going to evaluate to false. Okay, next is triangle. So is this a triangle? No, it says make square. So it evaluates to false, so we're going to go skip that case, right? And lastly, we finally have, is this square hall a square? Right, is the thing we're given a square? Yes, it is, so we're finally we're going to go take that branch of the con, like so. And we see that we get the side length of the square once, right? It's going to be 10. And then we're going to do it again to get the 10 out again. And 10 times 10 is 100. And then 100 equals 100, and all tests have passed. All right. Highly recommend really using this stepper as often as you can, so you guys can see the code execution and how data flows. Anywho, that is about it for this one, and I will catch you in the next one.